welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm OSG or Stargard, and today we're going to be starting to build the outside of the house. I'm going to call it the Cliff House. And as you see here, we're starting with some deforestation. You know, the classic punching trees, except we're punching mainly the leaves right now. This is a little boring, isn't it? Why don't we speed it up? I'm thinking for the base or foundation, we're going to use a nice stone, probably. I'm also thinking we might go diagonal instead of straight. It would match the angling a lot better. And it would be more interesting. And it'd provide more of a challenge, which would be more interesting. And as you can see here, I'm struggling a bit to see how I would make that happen. Now that we have the diagonal all sorted out, now we need to figure out the rest of the base, which will be a very interesting shape. Because if you're having a diagonal side, it's going to turn out uneven-ish. That would be a bit of a weird shape. Now that the foundation or base is done, I'm thinking we use a nice contrast of wood. Since we're around oak and birch wood so much, I think it'd be a nice contrast to use spruce wood instead. I also just prefer spruce wood. I think it looks a lot better. Because birch is vanilla. It's like how I'd imagine vanilla to look like. And oak is it's just too light of a brown. And I think spruce is almost like a chocolatey color, I would say. It's the kind of brown I like. And it looks a lot less dark as it does in your inventory. It looks a lot darker there than it actually does in game. Because in game it looks so much lighter and so much better. As you can see here, I was struggling again to get the diagonal. Time for more deforestation. And we continue building the walls of this, quite frankly right now, silly looking house. It's definitely a trust the process case, because I might look a little ridiculous doing it, but I think how the outside turned out at the end, it's so pretty, and you'll just have to stay to find out what it looks like. It's at this point that I realized the house did kind of look like a paw. And a heart, a little. Then I started adding some length to the wall setting. And this was quite a process. So I'm going to speed it up again. Now that the walls are done, you might be thinking, what on earth are we going to do with the roof? This isn't a sturdy shape to have a roof with. You can't go villager with this type of house. You can't do that type of roof. And I'll tell you, it's just wait a little bit to see what I do. Because the thing with this, you have to be very careful. Houses with weird roofs. And you might have to do some experimenting. But a very simple stone brick slab roof. It might sound a little silly, but just trust the process. It's the trust the process house, like I said earlier. If you've stayed this long while I did the roof, then you've trusted the process. And as you can see, it turned out much better than you may have initially thought. And now we get to watch my trying to decorate it a bit, because I thought this would look amazing with some lanterns. And then I made a spelling mistake, which is fine, we all make mistakes. But then, the eternal panic I felt when I realized that lanterns don't go on slabs, they don't connect to slabs. So I thought, oh, maybe a chain will connect to the slabs. I thought it did, it looked like it did for a minute there. I didn't realize that it wasn't really connected. I thought it was connected, but no. Just slabs don't like lanterns and chains, apparently. So you have to settle with putting the lanterns on the foundation. And it turned out pretty good. It looks kind of like aesthetic-y, I guess. Then, this part, I'm not very good at adding windows, but I think I did a pretty good job, like spacing out the windows, because obviously you can't put windows at the like diagonal side of the house. So you kind of have to add them basically everywhere else to make up for the lack of window. And I thought it looked a little silly at first, but it did turn out pretty good. Ignore how I forgot one side. But anyway, I was feeling pretty good about the house at this point. I trusted the process while making it, and if you've gotten this far, you've trusted the process as well. And now we're gonna add more lanterns. And then I realized I forgot this side. So yeah, we add windows. Then in this part, I was kind of struggling to find a decoration because I thought, it kind of needed an extra something, and and my Minecraft was being kind of weird, so I was trying to work with it. It was being weird with the scrolling thing, so I was trying to work with it. And you can see here I'm struggling to find a pot for the flowers. And why can't you add flowers onto brick? It just doesn't make sense. And I didn't like the candles either. Now, you may be wondering, where am I going to put the door? Because the front of the house is diagonal and does not have a good space for the door. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mix it up. There's no front doors. There's only back doors. Yeah, it's really creative, I know. Now we can finally look inside. And it is small and a little funky looking, but It's not the worst. You know, at least it has character and creativity. And yes, if you were wondering, I did eventually get to add my red tulip to the house. Not where I wanted it to go, but got to go somewhere near my house, somewhat. You know, one block away, a little next to it, one block next to it. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you on the star side of the internet very soon. Bye-bye.